Welcome back to English Chat. In this episode, Chris and Emily are having a conversation about one of the biggest challenges English learners face: understanding native speakers. Whether you're watching movies, listening to podcasts, or talking with friends, it can be hard to keep up with fast speech, slang, and different accents. So today, they'll share practical tips that helped them understand real-life conversations better. Let's listen. Good morning, Emily. How was your metro ride today? I always enjoy listening to people when I'm on the train. It's like free English practice.
Yeah, me too. This morning I sat next to someone from India who was talking on the phone in English. His accent was different from what we usually hear, but it was cool to try to follow the conversation.
That's such a good point. When you live in a big city, you'll meet people from all over the world. And their English might not sound exactly like textbook audio, but that's real life.
Exactly. The first time I heard someone from South Africa speak, I thought I was going to miss everything. But after a few minutes, my brain adjusted and I started understanding more.
Same here. It just takes practice. And if you pay attention to context and tone, you can guess a lot of what they're saying, even if you don't catch every word. Speaking of accents, did you ever have to talk to someone whose English wasn't perfect, like maybe a tourist or someone learning English as a second language? All the time. Last week, I helped a French tourist find a restaurant downtown. At first, he was asking for the best place with meat, and I thought he meant a butcher shop, but then I realized he wanted a steakhouse.
Haha, that's so funny. I had something similar last month. A Korean friend asked me for a fast coffee, and I thought she meant espresso, but she actually meant a quick place to grab one.
Right? These small misunderstandings happen all the time, especially with idioms or expressions. But the important thing is to stay calm, ask questions, and don't be afraid to clarify things.
Totally. And most people are really patient. They know English isn't everyone's first language, and they appreciate the effort you're making to communicate.
Once we got to the office, Emily and I had to prepare for an important meeting with some clients from Germany. We knew they spoke English well, but we still wanted to make sure our presentation was clear.
Yes. Before the meeting, we reviewed some business vocabulary and made sure our slides weren't too complicated. We also checked for any false cognates, words that look similar in English and Portuguese, but mean something completely different.
Oh yeah, like sensível in Portuguese doesn't mean sensitive in the emotional sense. It means sensible or reasonable. That kind of mistake could confuse things during a negotiation.
Definitely. So we simplified our language, used short sentences, and made sure to repeat key points clearly. Also, we wrote down the main ideas on the screen so they could read along while we talked.
That's such a smart strategy. In meetings with non-native speakers, visuals and repetition can make a huge difference. You want to help them understand, not impress them with complex grammar.
When the meeting started, Chris took the lead with the introduction. I began by welcoming them and briefly summarizing what we'd discussed before. I made sure to speak clearly and pause between ideas so they could process everything. And you asked them questions too, which is great because it gives them time to respond and shows you care about their opinion.
Exactly. Instead of just talking nonstop, I asked things like, does this timeline work for you? Or would you prefer us to focus more on marketing or budget?
And when they responded, you repeated parts of what they said to confirm you understood. That's called active listening, and it helps avoid confusion later.
Right. For example, when one of them said, we think the design needs more color, I replied, so you'd like us to add more colors to the logo and website layout. That way, we were both on the same page.
And that's how good communication works. Not just speaking, but making sure the other person understands what you mean.
So there you go. Another episode of English Chat, where Chris and Emily shared real-life situations where you can practice and improve your English. Some of the key tips from today's episode include: listen to native speakers in public places like the metro. It's a great way to get used to natural speech. Be patient with yourself and others when dealing with different accents. Use simple language and visuals in business meetings to ensure clarity. Practice active listening by repeating and confirming what others say. Remember, English isn't just something you study, it's something you use every day, whether you're riding the bus, helping a tourist, or having a meeting at work. Thanks again for watching English Chat. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. See you next time. Keep practicing, and remember, every little step counts. Bye!